Welcome to the JimBob Sports Jamboree with Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, another Vikings legend, the superstar Mike Morris, a legend in broadcasting, Jim Rich from Fox 9, a legend in the window industry, from the window store, Tyler Ganz. And this show brought to you by the window store. I'm Bob Sansevere. And Chuck, I got to ask you, now we're still trying to confirm this.
Okay.
I have seen several stories online. You look it up, and it says there's going to be one. Netflix doing a movie about Fran Tarkenton and the Scrambler, starring Josh Hartnett. But I haven't seen anything on Netflix about it. But if there were indeed a movie about Fran Tarkenton with Josh Hartnett playing him, who would play Chuck Foreman? Because you would have to be a big part of that movie, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I would think, but I don't know who they would put.
You got any young fellas you like on in the movies? How about that Michael Jordan?
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say the guy that played in Sinners. You ever seen that movie? Yeah, you heard this.
Well,
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B.
Yeah,
Jordan.
Michael B.
Yeah, he might be able to do it.
Well, I'd say he probably could. He wouldn't be too bad.
It looks like he's physical enough to do it.
Well, he played in the Rocky or
What's his name? Yeah,
Apollo?
Apollo.
Creed, rather.
Creed,
Right,
yeah. He played Creed.
Yeah,
if he could play Creed, he
he'd
could
be
play
a good one.
Foreman.
Yeah, he could be a good one.
Be a good spin doctor.
Yeah, but you were so young back then. What about Anthony Edwards? I mean, he's played in that. Anthony Edwards had that role in that Adam Sandler movie. He did well with that. Yeah. Hometown
two
boy.
choices.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Basketball player?
Basketball player.
And
He's 6'6", man.
There were times, Chuck,
is
you seemed
6'6".
like you were 7 foot tall on the field.
Yeah.
Especially compared to Fran.
Well, yeah, Fran, but he's what?
Yeah, but
5'10",
he's
5'11".
He's 23, and whoever the other actor is probably 38. You know what I mean? He's closer to your age at the time.
Since you
Those guys
Look
always.
at
there's the
there's
Hello?
the casting agent calling.
It's
right now.
Hollywood calling. Yep.
Hello? There it is.
how about Anthony B. Jordan? Yeah, I mean Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
Chuck, put him on, whoever it is.
Hello.
It's Netflix calling.
It's Netflix saying,
Is it, hey,
we screwed up. We want to do the spin doctor instead.
That'd be a much
instead
better
of the
movie.
Scrambler.
All right, give us some insights, Chuck, into what kind of movie this would be if we were to know the real Fran Tarkenton, because these movies always show us different sides.
Well,
Like-
I know, but Fran was always kind of a private kind of guy, I thought. I mean, when you got to practice, of course, he was, one of the guys. But off the field, I never knew much about what, he was doing.
I'm not going to put Chuck on the spot here, but I did a story, and I didn't talk to him at the time. I talked to a number of his teammates, and they all said the only one who liked Fran was Mick Dinglehoff. Now, there might have been others, and I got a call the next day from Fran Tarkenton after the story appeared, and he was my best friend. I mean, the way he talked, and he said, this is, you need to talk to some other guys and blah, blah, blah. And it turned out, my experience with Fran Tarkenton, he's been terrific to deal with for me, because I would call him, if I had a story come up, and he always took the call, maybe because he remembered that story and he wanted to prove he was a great guy. But what you described a little bit is what players said about, and Ken Herbeck said about Kirby Puckett. Once the game was over, he just went his own way.
Yeah, Fran was,
Fran was Fran.
had his agenda.
Yeah.
And,
Was he business minded back then too? Was he into a lot of side ventures like he is nowadays? He's all over the place.
I thought he was like that, yeah. Kind of real, like the game was a business. Everything about it was a business. What was he going to get out of this business? And he was prepared. I mean, he was a smart guy on the field and everything else.
He was smart enough to throw you the ball a lot.
That's why I said he was smart. I'm just joking, but I'm just saying.
How did he get everybody to believe that he was the leader, that he could get you guys down the field when he needed to, or these bizarre plays that we've seen highlights of on NFL films over the years where you guys somehow pull off a touchdown out of complete chaos, what it looked like to us?
That's what it was, because it wasn't planned. The only thing you knew, and the first thing I learned playing with Fran Tarkenton, because he did scramble quite a bit. I moved around in the pocket to find. You had to stay in front of him. You had to make yourself available, because he would find you if you were open. And so that was one of the things about Fran that I think it was controlled chaos. I mean, he was definitely checking out, reading the defense to seeing where he could go, and I mean, even as a running back, when you have that vision, you seeing space and you got to figure out how to get there. Fran was like that.
Did you have to get right in front of him, or if he scrambled all the way to the right, would he throw across the field to you?
Only thing I can tell you is I always tried to have separation from whoever was trying to
Stay with you.
Stay with me, whatever I did, because he'd go one way and then you slide, go back in front, just stay in front of him, and that's what you had to learn to do. At least me, anyway, as from my position as a running back, to be kind of like the guy that, okay, if something's not working, you be there because he's going to be looking for you. But he was that kind of guy. He was a very smart quarterback. Wasn't like it is today, where you have the mics and the coaches telling you right through your earpiece, right through your helmet now, hey, call this play, call that play. No, he knew the entire game plan from the front to the back. And when the defenses came up and there was a change, when he audible, that was him. That wasn't somebody calling him, hey, you better change to this and this and this from in his earpiece. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like this guy knew what he saw and he knew what he had to change to. Well, so it's a whole totally different kind of game.
Did Burnsie actually send the play into him, or did he just give him a framework during the week and he called all the plays?
Well, we went over the plays that were going to work against certain defenses. And, the audibles, of course, came out, and when they called that, and then you referred to the change of the play. But Fran, when he got up there, he looked at those defenses. He was the one that got up there and audible. Every now and then, Burnsie may call a timeout and send something in. But generally, when he sent it in, Fran said, heck, we're not running that anyway.
So most of the plays were Fran's improvisation.
They were Fran alone. Fran was... he was good. He was good at he was good at his job.
So what happened when things melted down? I mean, was there a play like in your head you're like, all right, this isn't going to work. There's going to be an ad lib, or did it just happen because somebody broke free and got loose and flushed him out of the pocket?
I guess
or were there times where you're like, I think this is going to be something's happening here.
The only thing I know, for the most part anyway, what we did to get to the Super Bowls, the plays that we called, and the offense that we would run, that was great. Okay, the only time I ever had anything come up like that was when we were in the Super Bowl. And we came up with all these weird, crazy formations and play calls and things like that. That, for me anyway, it was uncomfortable. And it kind of took away... for me, my skill set anyway, what I was able to do, because I'm having to stay and this that took me out of my game. Let's put it like that.
Like block for Brett McClanahan.
I'm blocking, and I'm doing all this instead of letting me get out. I mean, it was different. So, but other than that, and that wasn't him. That was like I think Jerry, as smart as he was, we changed up that offense for that one particular game. And I could never figure that out because I'm like, why aren't we running what got us here? Right. And they got to stop it.
Tyler, I mean, that's what sold me on the Vikings were those plays that Fran and Chuck pulled off, because you weren't seeing that anywhere else across the league.
No.
And for me watching that, it was just like, this is so cool.
It was the beginning of the West Coast offense, right?
No. We're not calling it. This is the purple offense.
Purple offense.
There you go. It ain't no West Coast offense, man. That was an offense created by Fran, Jerry, and me, because we were the first doing things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, for a long time, and then even at that. With our offense, see, I got in the slot and I was playing receiver, or sometimes I go out and play receiver.
Yeah.
So that was the difference. I wasn't just like coming out the backfield, giving a move on a linebacker. I mean, that happened a lot, but it put me in. I had to run patterns too.
Keep in mind.
Do you think changing that offense was the reason why we didn't win a Super Bowl?
My personal opinion, yeah.
Wow.
That's not. I mean, execution is the key. Don't misunderstand me. But my personal opinion is you always go to the dance with what brought you there. Why change?
You don't switch your date at the door?
You don't. Yeah. Every now and then you try it, but it never works out.
Well said. Well said. I agree completely with that. You got to go with what got you there, and the Midwest offense, the offense that you guys ran, the safety valves with you and McClanahan or whomever swinging out of the backfield, and it was way more than swinging out of the backfield.
Oh, no doubt.
No question about that. I know what you mean on that.
Some of our most successful plays were coming out of the backfield for, I had to read middle linebacker and the outside linebackers. And generally, I could give a move to one, and one would come one way, and I got rid of him over here, but I was really working on this on this guy here.
Right.
And I beat him and it was over.
Chuck, one of the most glaring mistakes was the Oakland game, your third Super Bowl,
Right.
the franchise's fourth. You get a turnover, you get near the goal line, and the ball goes to McClanahan. Had that happened any other time that season where you didn't get the ball?
No. In fact, when they called it, they called it strong right, 22 lead. That meant me blocking for Brent going over top.
Wow.
Okay, I'm playing fullback, so I'm leading, and he's coming over.
And you guys are like at the 2-yard line, right?
2-yard line.
Normally where you
Just jump over it.
over the sky,
Right.
over the whole
Yeah,
pile,
exactly.
land in the end zone,
But
6 points.
another time when you think too darn much instead of doing what you got to do.
You get to thinking more than
Yeah, you're thinking,
you get too cute with it.
we can. I know they're expecting Chuck. Let's try this and do this that way. I'm like, oh no! What? But when they made the call, I'm like, yeah, I started to call time out myself. I
question.
did. I started to say, hey, wait a minute, you okay?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's just you take Bill Belichick. He had a guard that he would put in the game only to pull and get out in open space because he never whiffed on a linebacker. But it also told everyone on the defensive side of the ball that because that guy is in, the only thing he comes in for is to pull either right or left, and so we know kind of what the play is. And so someone comes out with the question, do you realize that that's very readable? It's a tell that you've got that player and that what's going to happen is going to happen. And Belichick said, yeah, we know that. We know it, and we're telling them that that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it
And stop it.
And we're going to, and you know what? And he's going to block your linebacker, and we're going to pick up 8 yards and get a first down. He said, "Yeah, I know that. I know. I'm telling him what we're going to do." That's to that point,
Right. So everybody knew.
Give him the ball. We all know that he should get the ball, and then give him the ball, and it'll be a touchdown, and it'll be all said and done.
Yep, see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
Let's continue to the next segment. We got to take a quick wrap here before we do. What's going on with Window Store? Got any specials going?
Oh my gosh, we're giving away $25,000. $25,000 we're giving away this year. Just to say thank you to our customers. It's our 25th anniversary as a business, so we're giving away $25,000. So all you got to do is go onto the website. You'll find that at the Windows Store or WindowsStoreInc.com. WindowsStoreInc.com. You'll see there's a sign up there for that. There's no obligation, no nothing. If you win, there's no jokes, no gimmicks here. $25,000 in home improvements. Any trade that we do. So windows, siding, roofing, doors, anything that we do, you get $25,000 worth of that product. We're going to give it away the week of Thanksgiving to thank our customers for another great year. So 25 years in business, $25,000 giveaway.
Terrific. All right, let's take a quick break. The JimBob Sports Jamboree will be right back. We're back with more of the JimBob Sports Jamboree with Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, the superstar Mike Morris, Fox 9's Jim Rich, Tyler Ganz from the Window Store. This show brought to you by the Window Store. I'm Bob Sansevere. And Mike, there's a few things. I need a few things. Some hardware I need.
I can help you.
Who would I go? Where do I go?
Burnsie Ace Hardware.
I love the iPad.
4 different stores, and you can get to one in Zumbrota, Farmington, Rosemount, or Egan. You could do that. If you're looking for power tools, they've got the $30 discount on 20-volt select DeWalt tools, and then they got the $20 discount on the 20-volt select Craftsman tools. So you can get down there. And if you need paint to paint the deck, you got Clark Kensington, you got Benjamin Moore paint. They got the technology that will keep you from being me and picking the wrong paint. You can actually match up and get the right paint on the wall, and they've got all that down there. They've got the Polici family behind it all. They've been in business for 30-plus years, and so they can help you find anything you need.
But what if my truck breaks down and I can't get there? What do I do then?
Uber. No, you would want to go. No, here's what you'd want.
The new sponsor.
No, a new one. Where'd that come from?
Uber to where?
Show me the money, Uber. Hey, look, this is Dodge in Burnsville, so you're looking for a car, truck. Wouldn't want to take an Uber. You're going to be bringing back bags of rock and paint. So you don't want to do that. You want to have a truck or something like that. So Dodge of Burnsville, Cliff Road, and 35W in Burnsville. Say hi to Adam or Mark Saba. And get on down there and kick those tires down there. They've got them all in the parking lot. Tons of inventory. Used lot, new lot, cars and trucks. Get on down there. And then they will take great care of you after you buy something or trade something in, service-wise. They'll get you all taken care of, get your oil changes, and the whole 9 yards right there at Dodge of Burnsville. So do that. 35W and Cliff Road in Burnsville. Tell them Superstar sent you.
Thank you. And I got the same question for both Chuck and Mike. After the Oakland Super Bowl, which was your third Super Bowl,
Right.
Did you think, well, we'll just come back next year? I mean, you guys had one hell of a run with 3 Super Bowls in like 5 years. Did you think it would continue, or did you have a feeling this was coming to an end?
I had a feeling it was coming to an end, though, because everybody's getting older.
Yeah.
You know, like I was telling you last week when Jim Marshall first came to the league, I was like, what, 11?
Yeah. Because he came in the early 60s.
Yeah, because he came in 61. I was like 11 years old. And then I get there, and then, they still had some stuff in the tank when I got here, but those guys could still do it. And not saying that they couldn't, but I knew, Father Time in this game, he rules the roost.
Yeah.
And, Jim was 37, 38. Carl was up there too. Everybody, Mick Tingelhoff. I mean, how much more can you take in that from the physical aspect of the game? And when we did come back, we weren't nearly the team we were the year before. And so Bud, I will say one thing: he kept the guys around. He was committed to his guys. But sometimes he when he saw me, whatever reason why they got rid of me, they got rid of Alan Page. And they kept some other people.
Well, the Alan Page thing was because Alan stood up to him. There was never a fight with you, though, was there?
Well, I told him some things before.
Oh.
But not, Alan was like, hey, listen. They didn't want Alan to play at 220, right?
Yeah.
That's what he was down to?
Yeah, well, he was running all the time, but he was quick, he was fast. I mean, he was like...
Hell on wheels.
Yeah. And so Alan said, I can get the job done at this. Well, he didn't want to put the weight back on. And then he was getting moved around a little bit because he was adapting to that weight. You know what I mean? But then they put, what's his name? Duck
White.
Duck White in there to take his place.
What a mistake.
Yeah. And then in the fourth quarter, in the game, and Bud told Alan to go in after setting him out the whole game, and then Alan told him no. Next morning we come in and Alan was gone. Then he goes on to Chicago and makes All-Pro, 3-4 more times?
Yeah, he did. His last game played in Chicago. The game that he retired off of, he had 2 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, but he makes All-Pro 3 more times. So, hey, man. Nobody's perfect. Bud wasn't perfect. None of us were. But I thought that was a big, big mistake. Because that guy was the guy that made it all work up front.
Now, Mike, what was your NFC last one? Did you play in the 2001 or was it?
No, I played in 98. 98, that was it.
Do you think there were plenty more? Because that team was so good and you came so close.
Kind of like Chuck on that one. I there were so many things that had to work on paper that, as it turned out, I mean, Randall Cunningham didn't have another season like he had that year. I mean, in fact, in Detroit the next season in '99, he came into the locker room and told us that he couldn't play the second half. He just said, I can't do it. He was freaked out by something. He was literally, it was in his head that he couldn't go out and play.
He wasn't hurt?
He wasn't hurt, no. And Denny walked up, called everyone into the middle of the room playing in Detroit, and he said, look, we're gonna put Randall Cunningham down on the bench and put Jeff George in the game. He didn't say anything else.
Did he come
So
back?
that's just one thing. And no, he did not come back. Jeff started the rest of the
rest
season.
of the season, yeah.
Yeah.
And
he
then
played well.
in the following season too, right?
Just that one season, they wouldn't re-sign him. He wanted a long-term contract.
Well-
they
Well,
didn't
he
bring him
wasn't
back.
good.
You're talking about George didn't come back.
George did not come back.
That's because he ran from being. I mean, he didn't want to go anywhere near the ball or get hit. What playoff game was that? Do you remember? Hit the last game. I mean, didn't he just? He did not want to get hit, and he did not want to go after loose balls that were on the ground.
Jeff George?
Yes.
I don't remember that, but I just know that he wanted the long-term contract. They didn't see it that way. Then they didn't sign him to a long-term deal. I actually thought he was an unbelievable quarterback. He
had a heck of an arm.
incredible arm. I've never seen a stronger arm than him. But they didn't do it. So that's one of the things that changed. You know, I mean, that to think you could go back and get close again, or to go to the Super Bowl would be a tough call because so many things changed.
What did that put you into? What years was that then? Who came after him? After George?
Oh, I mean,
Salisbury?
it
Was
was
that before
Dante.
that?
Dante, I think.
Oh,
stepped up.
Dante came in then. Okay.
Yeah, Dante was a rookie
That's right.
the year
Okay.
before that. In 99. In 99 he came in, right?
Dante had an incredible career because he was a year on and a year off. I mean, he'd have an incredible statistical year, and the next year he just would be.
You know,
Yeah.
but Dante, you see physically, man, just a
beast.
specimen
God.
he was.
Just like about
as
3
a
weeks ago.
quarterback,
Yeah.
athletic.
We just saw him. He's a beast
everything.
still.
Yeah. Everything. The one thing I think Dante did that I think did not serve him when he represented himself.
I
To
just found out.
negotiate. Remember
remember
when he
you
went
telling
to
me that.
Pittsburgh or
Yes.
I don't know where he went.
Miami, I think.
Miami,
Yeah.
and he did that, and he didn't do himself any favors. I don't think.
I agree with that.
Well, he didn't do himself any favors when, because Mike Tice told me about when he was supposed to. He took a computer home and he was supposed to take film home too.
Yep.
He turned the computer back in and Tice took a look and he was watching movies. Never watched any film.
Oh no.
Just was watching movies. So that doesn't help either.
No. I mean, if you're not going to study the game, and that's one position you definitely have to know, inside and out.
Mike, there's some stories we could tell.
Oh yeah,
But
there are several.
Oh, there's some stories we could tell, but we can't tell.
Correct.
Come on. Let's
Correct.
tell him.
Yeah, about some players that you love them, but man, you ask yourself,
They frustrate you.
yeah, why
you know what?
can't
But
you
some of these guys
make
were
the same mistake twice?
They were
three, four
costing
times?
both of you guys money.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
they were hurting
Right.
your chances.
I mean, it's
Uh,
I was marginal at best, and I worked out harder than anyone on the team just to long snap. You know, I mean, I always thought if they trained as hard as I did, because I had to, I wouldn't have been in the league, but I had to do that. I just wondered if everyone came in here and trained with me, which they ended up doing, and Stussy and McDaniel and Hovan and Kleinsasser and Burke all came in and worked out with me all summer then after that. But I just wondered, if they were really putting the time in that they need to get ready for a season, I think things would be different,
But-
But
okay,
you never know. But it's like Chuck said, you just they didn't care as much, and they were counting on just raw talent and ability to carry them through. But that wears off after a while if you don't take
the
care
broad
of it.
talent is one thing, but from my own personal experience, I can tell you there was one year I was working out, but I wasn't. Really at that,
At that level?
that real
Yeah.
intense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mike,
I
that
do.
real intense thing where I was working out so hard that when I was done, it took me like I had to sit down for
Correct.
a half an hour, 40 minutes before I could even do anything to get home.
Yeah, I agree.
There is a but to something you said, and we're going to take a quick break. JimBob Sports Jamboree, come right back, and I'm going to ask the but to you.
Got it.
Because I don't agree with something you just said. So we'll
Okay.
be right back and talk about it. We are back with more of the JimBob Sports Jamboree. Vikings legend Chuck Foreman, the superstar Mike Morris, Jim Rich from Fox 9, Tyler Ganz, the man behind the window store. I'm Bob Sansevere. And Jim, I had mentioned at the last segment that I got a but to Mike, and here's the but. He said he had to work out hard. He had to, harder than anyone else. But did he really? He was such a great snapper. If he was 190 pounds, he still would have been snapping because he was so damn good at it.
What got him to the National Football League was what was inside the helmet. That's where he shined. He outsmarted people on those plays. He had the cunning and guile to.
I think you're giving him too
snap
much
that
credit.
Football like
I couldn't
no
agree with
one
you more.
else
I don't know
could.
why I'm agreeing with you,
Did
but
he
I'll
ever
agree with you.
have a snap intercepted? No.
No, he
because he
Never
knew
fumbled, never
which
fumbled.
way to stand
Yep.
and which way to snap. I mean, you
know which way to point it.
Yes.
You know,
He never snapped it into the defense.
Right. I mean, it was remarkable.
I would
How
say this.
many thousands of snaps did he go out there and not once?
It had better be good, right?
Football.
Oh yeah. Well,
Has
I mean,
1,000% completion.
I had to be pretty good at one thing, or I wasn't going to be on the team. I'll put it that way. I was gone if I didn't do that and be a decent enough backup at center and guard, and a little bit of tackle too. Would have been sitting at home pumping gas in Centerville, Iowa. But regardless, I got to a point where I could throw the same ball every time. It was repeatable over and over again. If I was even looking back or not. And they would bring one or two guys in at another position. They could play tight end, they could play linebacker, little this. And they'd try and have two guys that could beat me out so they could finally get rid of the guy that they're saving a space for, right? And get two for one again. But I would tell those guys everything. I just tell them everything that they needed to know about long snapping. Every single thing. And they'd say, "Why are you helping me so much?" I said, "Because when you're done here and they cut you, you can go to another team and play. you can go play somewhere. Because right now you're not going to
beat me."
I mean, I'm just going to have to size you up with a body bag and a nice little note in your pocket for your mom to know that you were a good kid. You were
That's
a good
guile.
kid. Yeah.
You're right.
But I do, and if I hadn't had long snapping, I mean, the one thing that helped me was track and field and throwing javelin. That would probably help me as far as throwing, and actually being able to put something on a football. That was it. That was my livelihood.
You've never told us, when did you snap for the first time? Freshman, sophomore year in high school? When did you first?
7th grade, I started doing it and had it all the way through.
But it's 7th grade, first time you did it. Hey, this is easy. I'm good at this.
I literally picked up a football, and having watched Viking games, you may believe me or not, but it was a big tingle off that I was like, wow, he's the center, and he throws that ball back there 100 miles an hour, and he's good on PAT field goal. I was paying attention to the offensive line stuff. Bobby Bell was my next guy. Bobby Bell, whether you know it or not, he was a great long snapper, really good. From the University of Minnesota, played with the Chiefs forever, and Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, I picked up a football. I said, I think I can make it spin. So I just started. I threw everything. I threw rocks. I threw everything on the farm, right? I threw everything. So I had a decent arm, huh?
Between your legs, you're walking around, your dad
I'll
would
tell
tell
you
you
what.
put stuff away, and you'd be
was-
long snapping.
Give me that cow potty.
I was long snapping snowballs in snowball fights. I really was, and killing people. No, but
Well,
it was
because you never get hit in the face.
Never.
You're always covered.
always laying low. I was in a trench the whole time. No, that was it. If I hadn't found out that I could do that, I don't know quite where it would have gone. So, but it turned out okay. I tried.
So in college, you were a starter on the
I was
offensive
starting
line.
a center, and I started because of an injury. I ended up playing a lot of defensive end for my last 2 years at Northeast Missouri. So I played a lot of D end as well, but started at center.
Did you ever get a look at D end in the NFL?
John Tierlick took a look at me when I was with the Arizona Outlaws. He wanted me to play D line, and it didn't work out because it was a numbers game, and I got passed off. And John was the one that thought that he could make me a D lineman, and I went somewhere else. I went to the Michigan Panthers, and that didn't work out.
So was he with Arizona, or was he with the Vikings, and they were looking at
Arizona, and then he was with.
Because then he came here, right? He was. Here
I had him in Cleveland too. I had him with the Browns, and
you
then,
the
and then
reason-
here.
Is that why
Yeah,
you
he's-
wound up here because of Tierlink?
No, not at all. No.
Oh.
No, just Chris Foote got injured, and broke his leg, and Schreiber was around. Loudermilk was here, but neither one were like long snappers. So they brought me in, and that was it. I snapped 144 straight games for the
Jeez.
Vikings. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, 144 games, not playoff games, just regular season.
Well, the playoff
Yeah,
games
no,
too.
they
You're over
didn't
150.
risk you in the playoff games. They were like,
Well-
we got to get somebody else, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd find someone else that can do that. You want to take the pressure. Yeah. If there's anything more, if there's any more pressure on any position out there playing football, I don't know what it'd be. Like long snapping, like if you want to talk about messing up a game really quick, and they could rush us back when I played. So they were hitting you as soon as your hand left the football. I mean, it was in your head the whole game. If someone could really bring it, it was in your head that, you got to follow through. You got to make sure that gets back because your hand is still on the ball when they hit you. So you got to have it go in the right direction and with some speed on it, or it'll be messed up. So it was a lot of pressure. I'll put it that way. You go into every game knowing that they're going to hit you as soon as you flinch.
It is a position, you're right, where there's
anyone can do it in a parking lot.
People expect, that's just the snap, but you're right. But the pressure you must feel.
I can teach anyone to long snap in 5 minutes.
See,
in a parking lot or out in the open field, anyone can do it. But
I've often thought
when it's in the snow, and it's in when you can't feel your hands, and when someone's hitting you right away. And long snappers today don't have to worry about that because they can't rush the snapper. They can't hit the snapper.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
They can't do it. They can't do it. So
which is why even today you could go in and be an NFL snapper.
I could.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, I
That's
could.
right. You
I
got to
could.
go. If somebody goes, we got to come on.
Give him a shot.
We
How old
gotta
is he
do it.
again? How old is that guy?
Think of the veterans minimum that you would just get.
I wonder what that would be. I don't even know what that is.
They'd
but
have to
that
set a new one for you.
Yeah, it would. It would have to be the grandfather time. He took 25 years off. He's coming back.
You'd be senior plus.
Yeah.
All right, now Tyler, I want to address something you said off the air, asking Chuck about what Bud did with Paige.
Yeah.
Bud, I mean, he was always testing guys too. At training camp at Mankato, he had the grounds crew stake out an area and say, no, do not walk on the grass. He cut guys who walked on the grass because he wanted to know how disciplined they were.
Wow.
I did a story on that, and I couldn't believe
Is that
it.
true, Chuck?
Yeah. I'm telling you,
I asked Bud, and he said, yeah, I did that.
the first thing as a rookie, the first thing that was told to me, hey, rookie, don't make mistakes or you'll never see the field. Pay attention. And then I was told, you see that guy over there? It was Dave Osborne. Do everything he does and you'll be all right. And so everything he did, I did. I mean, every play he run all the way down to the end and jog all the way back. That's one of the things. Discipline, getting down like you're going to score a touchdown every time, and every
To the house.
thing was like full speed. There was nothing.
I believe it.
There's nothing slow motion about Dave Osborne. Smart, everything, and I just did everything, and he talked to me and shared all the things that I need to watch for, and.
I went hunting with him
yeah,
in South Dakota at a game ranch, hunting pheasant with he and Mick Tingelhoff. And we go stomping through these fields all morning long. I mean, cockleburs and thistle, this and that. You're wearing hunting pants and you're pounding through the corn and even some of the brush. And we get to the other side of the field, and we've already gone 3 hours, and we dump the birds out on the road for the gals to come and pick them up, and we were at a game ranch. And Osborne says, let's make another pass. Let's do it again. That means another mile or so back, and then back to the lodge. And Mick said, you picked the wrong day. You came with Osborne. So he wants to do this. He's like that.
Right.
He wants to go again. And you couldn't wear him out.
It's like
You couldn't wear him out. You couldn't wear him out.
Let's play another 18.
Yeah, let's do it again.
He's different. That
Oh,
way.
he was a monster.
All right, we got a break here. We're going to take a quick break, and then JimBob Sports Jamboree. We'll be right back.